Does anybody here have any potential kid IUL?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good. So let's do some of those actual illustrations. Okay. Something that I'm very big about doing, and what you're going to see is, I'm building a machine in reference to my personal practice. The idea behind this is when you write up a client that has kids. Hang on one quick second. Hang on. Sorry about that. When you're writing up a client, like a mom and her dad, and they're going through underwriting, and they have kids, you're shooting yourself in the foot heavily if you are not coming to the delivery table with kid IULs. That's where I cross-sell and I upsell like no other. But in order to do this effectively, there are a couple things that you need to be able to do in the initial fact-finding meeting. And one of those is a budget. If you're not getting a budget from your clients, then you don't know if they can afford additional insurances. And if you're going into a delivery meeting simply just to deliver the policies and say, see you later, you're shooting yourself in the foot. A couple things that I always bring to a delivery meeting is kid IUL policies, $25, $50 a month type policies. If they're under the age of, 10, if they're between 10 to 17, I'm bringing $50 to $75 a month type policies as just a rule of thumb. I'm just bringing the illustrations with me as a way to try to cross sell, right? When a client gets approved for insurance, one of the things that I ask the underwriter is, can the client get approved for additional insurance without any further medical underwriting? So just because I got them approved for $500,000 doesn't mean that, the company's not willing to offer them another $300,000 without any further underwriting. So I always bring with me to the delivery meeting whatever additional insurance the person's automatically approved for. If they choose to accept it, I bring a very small, like annual renewable term, 20-year term, a very cost-effective additional policy. And then I tell the client, go, look, the insurance company approved you for $500,000, but they also offered you this additional $300,000 at no cost, at zero cost to you. Not at zero cost, with no underwriting. They offered you this additional insurance policy with zero underwriting. It's guaranteed, approved, ready to go. And look how cost effective it is. It's an annual renewable term, or a 10-year term, or a 20-year term, something very small and minimal. And it allows you to cross sell again. So I've got a couple of those opportunities right now. So I was going to take advantage of it and run some kid IULs. And so here's what I'd like to do. Let me open up my computer here. And Rob said he does, and Rubiel says he does. Rubiel, I think you mentioned it first on the group chat. You want to tell me a little bit about the kid the kid illustration that you're about to run?
Yeah, I think Lupita. I don't know, you probably seen her on my team. Back in the previous company,
Okay.
I insured her, and back in 2 previous companies, I insured her husband and all her kids. So it's, each one of them have $150,000 policies. This is her 5th kid right now. She's like, hey, we gotta get this last one done. So I'm like, all right, and his National Life Group is all the other ones are at. So that's the one she wants to go with. So
okay. Okay, so just so you guys know, rule of thumb, the way most insurance companies operate is, number one, the owner of the policy, which is typically the parent, has to have insurance in place. You can't put an IUL on a child or a whole life on a child if mom and dad aren't insured, unless they can't medically qualify, in which case then you need a cover letter. That's number one. Number two, you want the parents to typically have, as a rule of thumb, twice the amount of insurance that the child has. Okay, just kind of as a rule of thumb. Some companies say no. Some companies say if the kid has 250,000, then mom and dad need to have 250,000. It's like a dollar for dollar match. I, as a rule of thumb, always tell my clients you need to have at least twice the amount. And you know what? Sometimes it helps with a cross sell, right? It helps with an additional sale. That's number two. Number three, there can't be any favoritism among kids if they're minors. So. Excuse me, here's what I mean by that. If you got 3 kids and they're all under the age of 18, all three of them cannot have more, nobody can have more insurance than the other. So that when I say no favoritism is that the way you design the illustration needs to be the same across the board for all the kids. So once there's once maybe one of those kids is an adult, it's a different scenario, because now you can in the application make it so that the child is the one paying for their own policy, but the minors all need to have the same. So I have a 10-year-old and an 11-year-old, right? My son 11 is about to be 12. If I was to sign them up and I wanted to do $250,000 a month at $100 a month for my daughter Sigourney, I have to do the exact same thing for my son. I cannot, just because he's older, put more money in his than I'm doing in hers in underwriting. Once the policies are approved and enforced, you can make adjustments as you wish, but in underwriting, you have to apply them both the same face value, same monthly amount. You can't show any kind of favoritism. This is a rule of thumb. Once, for example, if I had a 25-year-old child, right, plus a 10 and an 11-year-old, my 25-year-old or my 20-year-old, whatever, it could be an 18-year-old, it could be an 18. If I had an 18-year-old, my 18-year-old could do whatever he or she wants, because that concept is, hey, this 18-year-old is going to own their own policy, pay their own policy. Even if you as the parent are the payer of the policy, that's the way you want to set it up in the underwriting, so that you don't have to have all of them having the same amount of face value, same amount of monthly amount. Does that make sense, what I'm explaining? Yes, no, maybe? Come on now, don't be afraid. Anybody? Just going to take the assumption that everybody understands, since everybody's all kind of quiet here. All right, so Rubiel, do you have, oh good, my agent's hopping on right now, actually. Do you have a client, do you have a company in mind?
Yeah, well, besides the husband was AIG, the wife and all the kids, the 4 other kids, they're all National Life Group.
National Life Group, okay.
Yeah.
Eddie, is that you, Eddie Joseph?
Yes, this is me. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. I hope you don't mind, Eddie. I decided to tell the team that I was going to be doing these illustrations with you, so I just invited multiple people to kind of hop on and learn about kid IULs at the same time.
This is when I know I'm special on your eyes, man. You may become a superstar tonight.
All right, awesome. So let me kind of restate some of the things that I already stated, since you just hopped on, and then we're going to jump in and do illustrations. Yes. When it comes to a kid's IUL, a couple things you have to understand. Number one, parents have to have insurance. Parents have to have insurance. You cannot get a child insured and the parent not have coverage. Number two, rule of thumb is you want the parents to have at least twice the amount of insurance that the kids have. Some companies will let you have dollar for dollar, same amounts. So if the child is 250,000, mom and dad have to have 250,000. But some companies require parents to have at least twice the amount. And so as a rule of thumb, I'm just always telling my clients that no matter what. Okay, number two. Number three, if there's multiple kids, each child has to have the same type of policy, same face value, same monthly amount. You cannot show favoritism towards one child's plan over the other. It's all got to be the same. Okay, that's just as a rule of thumb. Okay, let me get into companies now that I like to use for IULs. National Life Group has a very strong IUL platform for kids. North American has a very strong platform for IULs with kids, and so does American National. 1, 2, 3. The company that does not, in my opinion, have a strong platform for IULs for kids is Allianz, unless the child is only a couple years away from turning 18. And I'll tell you why. There's a rider called Guaranteed Insurability Rider. Sorry if you catch me yawning. It's been a heck of a long day. It's 9 o'clock my time right now, and I've been going at it since about 8 a.m. So there's a rider called a Guaranteed Insurability Rider that I absolutely love, and it's a huge selling piece with a kid's IUL. Guaranteed Insurability Rider lets your child, when they become an adult, typically in 3-year increments, purchase more insurance without them having to get any kind of a medical. Guaranteed, right? So typically this starts at age 21. So if it's in 3-year increments, it'll be 21, 24, 27, 30, right? There's those 4 windows, right? At 21, at 24, at 27, and at 30, they're going to get a chance to purchase more insurance with no medical underwriting. They'll get approved at the health that they got approved when they were children. That's a powerful, powerful, powerful rider, mainly because the way that I sell it is I go, look, if heaven forbid something happens to your child and medically, they don't qualify for more insurance, they get the guarantee of being able to purchase more insurance because of this rider with no medical underwriting whatsoever, right? Heaven forbid, right? That they get that. And they get this, just so you know, 6 to 7 times in their lifetime. So it's 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39. I mean, boom, 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 every 3 years. 21, did I do that right? 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 30, yep, right? And so that's a powerful, powerful rider to do. Not every company has a guaranteed insurability rider. Guess which one doesn't have it? Allianz. Allianz does not have it. So if I'm going to do a kid's policy, and use Allianz, I'm probably going to do it on a child that is 15, 16, 17, 18 years of age. And I'll tell you why. Because when the child turns 18, immediately I'm going to tell that child, buy $500,000 worth of term life insurance that can convert into permanent insurance. And that could be your guaranteed insurability rider. If you're asking me, well, can we add that guaranteed insurability rider to an adult policy? You can. I don't recommend it. And here's why I don't recommend it. The cost of that rider is about the same cost of a term insurance policy, right? So let's pretend I'm 20, pretend I'm 23. I'd love to be 23 again, by the way. Man, I'd love to be in my early 20s again. Let's pretend I'm 23, right? And I get an IUL. And if my guaranteed insurability rider, what's that?
Yeah.
Reggie, are you asking a question, bud?
No.
Okay, you unmuted yourself by mistake. Let me mute you. There we go. Okay. So let's pretend I'm 23 and I buy an IUL for $100 a month, $200 a month, right? And I get a choice of a a guaranteed insurability rider that costs me an additional $15, let's say an additional $20 a month, or a term policy for an additional $20 a month, right? Everybody knows a $20 term policy for a 23-year-old will probably get that person $500,000 of coverage. If I buy the 20-year term policy for $500,000 and I pass away the very next year, my family gets to cash in on the IUL and the term policy. If I didn't buy the term policy and I use that extra $20 to add the guaranteed insurability rider, and I pass away the very next year, my family's only going to get the IUL because that rider that I'm paying for was never exercised. And because it was never exercised, I never actually physically purchased the additional insurance. And the price is about the same. The price is about the same. The reason I love guaranteed insurability rider for children is because you can't get term insurance for kids. So because you can't get term insurance for kids, the next best option is the guaranteed insurability rider. But as an adult, guaranteed insurability rider, you know what that is? It's a term insurance policy that can convert into a permanent policy. That's all that it really is. I'd rather them get a term versus a GIR rider. Does that make sense? I'm gonna need a little back and forth here if you guys don't mind, because like I said, it's been a long day. So I just want some interactions. Does that make sense or not?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. All right, Rubiel, let me log in. So here's Rubiel's case, and then we're going to do Eddie's case, and then we're going to do Rob's case. Rubiel's case is he's got a family that he's put insurance on children, and apparently this family has no cable because they just had their 5th child. Am I right, Rubiel? They got no cable. They just had their 5th kid.
Blame it on COVID.
Not COVID, baby. That's right. Now, the children have NLG policies. Logic says, let me get NLG for the 5th child as well. Nothing wrong with that. NLG, in my opinion, has the best living benefits out of all the IUL companies that we work with, but they also have the highest cost of insurance internally. But number 3, they have the guaranteed insurability rider already the guaranteed insurability riders is a part of their platform. So NLG is a great company to select for that particular product line. Let me actually, you know what? Let me do it this way. Rubiel, are you in front of a computer?
Yep.
Are you able to log in if I did a share screen and I walk you through it?
I pretty much know how to do it, but yeah, sure.
Okay, let me see here. So what do you call it? Humor me here, because it's a good training exercise for those who don't. I just made you a co-host. So go ahead and log in with your credentials and then screen share your NLG. Go right to the, if you can, screen share from the home page once you're logged in and show us how you get to the illustration software. And then I'll walk you through how I would design an IUL for a child.
All right, give me a sec.
While we're waiting for him to do that, Eddie, we started this training because I know you have to do some IULs. What companies are you already contracted with, my friend?
National, North American.
Okay, okay. Do you have Anaco as well?
I don't recall.
Okay, and either one of those is going to work.
Yeah.
They both work. They both work fairly well. So okay, we'll do North American with you today. You know how to log into your portal?
Yes.
Good. So once we're done with Rubiel, I'll have you log in and we'll do the same thing. How you looking there, Rubiel? There he is. Oh, he jumped right into the illustration software. Okay. All right. So the NLG uses the same exact illustration software as Allianz. So if you know how to do Allianz, you know how to do NLG. They use the exact same software. So the first thing we're going to pick is the Index Universal Life platform. And their product is the LSW. It's the Flex Life right there, the Flex Life IUL right there. The other one that was there is a Flex Life NL. You don't want to do the NL. You want, I believe NL is only for the state of New York, but don't quote me on that. If you're not in New York, you would do Flex Life IUL, which is the LSW platform, which is Life of Southwest, right? Life of Southwest, yes. So he's putting in the credentials. Now, Rubiel, the 4 policies for the kids prior, are they all paying the same amount monthly?
Okay. Yes. It's $150,000 coverage for all 4 of them.
Okay.
And she's paying $50. Sometimes pays more.
For each of them. Okay. So because he's already got 4 policies that way, he has to design this one the same way. This has to be $150,000 face amount at $50 a month. Kid policies automatically are standard non-tobacco, just so you guys know. They don't offer preferred rating for kids. It's standard non-tobacco. So he's put in all the credentials of 1-year-old standard non-tobacco. Okay, perfect. Let's go to death benefit and funding. Let's change the face amount from 100 to 150,000. In this training, I'm just showing you how I designed them. If you want to know the why I designed it this way method, that would be a different type of training because it'll take a little bit longer. Something I always do with all IULs is change the level to increasing. Increase it to age 70. So that M stands for maturity. You're going to put an @ sign, or you're going to put the letter A and then the number 70. A means age. If you don't have A in front of the number, then what you're saying is 70 policy years. So if the person is 10 and you're going 70 policy years, then it'll go until 80. But if you do an A in front of the number, it becomes age. So we're going to go increasing. Increasing says the death benefit is going to increase. If you're looking at my hands, pretend my hand is a cup. So the cup is the life insurance. The water that I put in the cup is the cash. So if I'm telling the policy to increase, I'm basically saying, hey, make room to put more cash in the future. If I don't, and I keep it level, then I'm limited. I'm capping myself as to how much cash I can put in the future. That's why I do it that way, increase. Okay, change the premium mode from annual to monthly. I'm assuming the client's paying monthly.
Yep.
Change the target type. Let's control how much the person's putting into specific. So the first thing you want to look at is the target. You see to the left where it says target premium. Target is 384. You got to make sure whatever you're paying into it is at least that or more. 384 divided by 12 is 32 bucks a month. He's putting in 50 bucks a month, which is more than the target, so that's fine. Put 50, okay? Now here's the way I design them all the time. I do this like this every time. Go change the from through 1 to age 18. I'm going to show the parents what it would look like if they did age 18. Put A 18. Perfect. Then hit add row. Now change it from target to specific. Let's go to 100 bucks a month now. Let's go from A19 to A19 to A25. A25. Put the letter A in there. Hit add row. Let's change the specific to, there you go. Let's make it specific. Now let's go to 150. Let's go from A26 to A40. So what I'm basically doing, just so you guys know, is I'm showing every couple years the client putting in more money and more money. So for the first 18 years of the kid's life, it's 50 bucks. But then from 19 to 25, when they're going to college or starting their careers, they're putting in 100. At age 26, they up it to 150, and they do that to age 40. Let's add row again. Now let's up it to 200 bucks. Change that from target to specific. Let's go to 200 bucks. Wait a second. A19. Wait, what happened there?
I don't know, but it changed everything up somehow. Let me just put it back how it was.
Yeah, please. 118 and then age 18 to age 20. Wait, 19. No. Delete the second one. That's what I would delete the second one. I don't know what the computer just did there. Delete that.
Okay.
Okay, so now 1 to age 18, 18 to age 25. Okay, then age 26. Okay, put the 150 back again. You see where it says 200, switch that to 150. And then go from age 26 to A40. Here you go, add a row. Go specific. Now let's go to, all right, let's do 250. Instead of doing 200, let's put 250 in. You can do it however you wish, guys. I mean, I'm just kind of playing. I typically either go up by $50 or by $100. Let's do that until age 65, from A41 to A65. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now let's go to writers. You see the guaranteed insurability rider? It's there you go, right there. Click yes. Say GIR amount. Let's put 75,000. It's usually between $25,000 to $75,000 amounts. Let's see if it lets you. Okay. So there you go. So you hover over. When you hover over, it tells you what the max is. The max for this company is 50,000. So let's change the 75,000 to 50,000. So basically, every time they get a chance to exercise this rider, they can add $50,000 of additional insurance each time. 50,000, 50,000, 50,000 each time. Okay, cool. So let's do a quick view. Okay. So you see where it says plan premium, that's the 500, that's the 50 bucks a month. Now let's scroll down. By the time he turns 18, it goes up to 100 bucks a month, which is 1,200 a year. Keep going. Then it goes to 150 bucks a month, which is 1,800 a year. From 25 all the way to age 40, then look, it goes up to 250 a month. Right? And it does that all the way to age 65. Bam, at 65, the client stops. Look how much cash is in there. $624,000. Okay, $624,000. And the very next year, even though the client didn't make another payment, they don't make any more payments after 65, the policy is still going up by about $40,000 a year of interest. So this person can create $40,000 a year for the rest of their life in like a pension environment, tax-free, by the way, without even tapping into that principal. Pretty cool, right? The other thing that I like to check is I want to make sure that the policy will last all the way to 121. So go ahead and scroll all the way down. Perfect. There's insurance, there's cash all the way to 121. So this is a healthy policy. Let's go to the reports button real quick. I want to show you one other thing that quick view doesn't let you see. Go ahead and run report. Did you hit it?
Yeah, it's not letting me do anything. Hold on. There it goes.
Trying to catch up.
Where you want me to go?
I can't see it, so you just need to screen share it.
Oh, my bad.
It's all
Let me
good.
stop and go back.
All good.
Sorry. Shoot. Let me try it again.
I would share the desktop. That way, if windows pop up, you can still see it. Pop-up blocked, hit allow. You pop-up block in the top by the browser, the website.
Hold on.
Hit that button in the top. You
There
see
we
where
go.
that? No, oh, keep going up, keep going up. No. Go up, go up, go up, go up, my friend.
Got it.
Right there. Click that.
I have no idea why I went.
Okay, go up.
Hold on. It's messing me up. There we go.
Click that. Hit allow, always allow. Okay, done. Now hit run and report again.
There we go. Hold on. Let me see if I can share this one. This is gonna be fun.
You're good.
Here it is. Got it. You see it?
Yep, there it is. Now I see it. Okay, cool. All right, so scroll down to the illustration. Correct. Keep going, keep going, keep going. That's the guaranteed. Keep going to non-guaranteed. Right there. Okay. All right, so go all the way to 65. That's year 1, year 10. Keep going all the way down. Okay, 65 right there. By 65, the client has put in $121,200. This illustrate, I like doing this illustration because this actually adds up how much money the person's put in. So $121,000, and yet it's worth $624,000 by age 65. That's a 5-6x of their money. $121,000, 624 comes out. That's $500,000 of tax-free dollars. And the person has never once exercised that guaranteed insurability rider and purchased more insurance. The insurance went from 150,000 all the way to by 65, 774,000. That is a very sexy policy. You talk to a parent about this type of a plan where they know all they got to do is $50 a month, but in the same token, they got to teach their children about money and teach their children how to save. I mean, think about it. You know, let me look at my audience here. Do I have anybody in my audience in their late 30s and 40s? Don't answer that, ladies. But think about it this way. If you were taught when you hit 18 to start putting $100 a month away, and then $150 a month when you're in your mid to late 20s, and then $250 when you're in your 30s, and someone said to you, if you do those simple numbers, By the time you hit 60, you got, a $500,000 worth of profit, 150,000 of your own money plus $500,000 of your own profit. How many of you guys wish someone told you how to do that when you were a teenager and turned 18? I mean, ask yourself, how many of you guys would wish that? I know I did, right? I know I did. As a parent, the parents have to commit to doing $50 a month until the child turns 18. That's what it is. Now, are they obligated to do it this way? They're not. They're not, by the way. If Rubiel, do me a favor, go back to the illustration software.
Okay.
They're not obligated to do it this way. That's probably the biggest fear people have when they see these illustrations is, do I have to increase the contribution? The answer is no. You could stay at $50 a month if you wanted to, but the return would be less, right? So what I want you to do is go into death benefit and funding. Wait, where you at? There you go. And let's change it. Scroll down.
Got the pictures in there. All right.
All right, so delete the bottom 3 contributions. And change the first one from from age 15 to age 65. So this is the same illustration, but instead of increasing the contributions every couple years, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pay the same $50 until age 65. Now let's view it. Scroll all the way down to 65. It's worth 295,000. You see what I mean? I mean, if you add up how much money the clients put in, right, which is $600 a year for 65 years, the clients put in $39,000. It's still a hell of a return. I mean, it is. 39 grand turns into 300,000. I mean, that's a 10x of your money pretty much, right? But if you put more money in, this is what it could look like. And that's the way I talk to my clients. You could do $50 a month, or you could do $250 a month. At the end of the day, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. And if the worst thing that happens is you put 39 grand in and you got back 300,000, you're not mad at me, but you probably wish that you put in $200 a month and $300 a month at some point in your life so that you could see that money compound and grow even faster. But that's how I show kid IULs. Anybody have any questions? No? Good? Okay. So let me ask this question. Thank you so much, Rubiel. I appreciate that. Eddie, my man, Eddie.
Yes.
Tell me about your clients without giving me their names, protect their, their privacy, but just tell me the situation.
The situation is a 5 years old and a 6 years old.
So two kids.
2 little girls. Yes.
Okay.
Basically,
where do they live? Where do they live?
Florida.
Florida. Okay. Are they residents, citizens, non-residents?
Citizen. Yeah.
Okay. It's important to know that, guys, because out of all the companies that I just gave you, NLG is the only one that'll insure non-resident aliens. Out of all the companies I just gave you, you come across non-resident alien, you're automatically jumping into National Life Group.
Yeah, both of them citizen. Basically, the parents, the fact, as you know, I used to work at New York Life. We used to do something they call customer life.
Okay.
That's something you could do for 15 years or 20 years. It tell you exactly, not only you pay them for the amount of year, then you could stop paying, then show you exactly how much they can cash out. So with that being said, she's thinking about just put something on the side to the bank and for when they become 18 or 19.
How much money does she want to put away?
Let's say minimum 100.
100 a month per child?
Yes.
Okay, let's start running some numbers. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you how we do it on the North American platform.
Yes.
Okay. So hang on one second. And I'm going to do it.
Yes.
As though I don't even have a writing number with North American. Okay. So what you're going to do is you go to the TKO Financial Network website. Right. As you can see, I'm already logged in.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going to scroll down to the, where is this? Our IMO, where is it? Our IMO right here.
Mhm.
That'll take you to these two buttons, about the IMO, our IMO. Go right to our IMO. It'll forward you to the callums.com website. Okay, log in. You would have created your login when you did contracting.
Mhm.
See, I'm logged in now. Hit more. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go to e-app services. Write this note down, everybody. North American is the only company that we have that actually uses iPipeline as their illustration software. So if you don't have a writing number to NLG or to Anico or to Foresters or to Allianz or anything like that, North American is the only company without a writing number that you can actually run full illustrations on your own without having to contact your upline, without having to contact John Countryman, because they use iGo for their software. So here, what I did again is I went to more, e-app services, forwards me to here. And if you have not gone into that try now button and created an account, create one. It's right here. It's very simple. Create an account, takes 24 hours, you're done. I'm going to log in. Now, mind you, I have a North American writing number, but I'm not going to the North American website. I'm going right through this portal because there's always going to be more non-contracted agents than there will be contracted agents, but you could do either or.
Mhm.
You hit start new case. And let's see here. We're going to do child X. I don't want their names. So Eddie, don't give me their names, but give me the date of birth of one of them.
In that case, I might just because I don't have the exact date of birth right now as we're speaking, just to let you know.
Okay, what's
So
their age?
One is 5, one is 6.
All right, so we'll do a 5-year-old girl or boy?
Girls.
Okay, girl. You want to name it? I typically name it last, whatever their last name is, their first name, and then what I'm doing, right? I'm 100 per month kid IUL.
Mhm.
We're going to select the state that they're in,
Yes.
Florida. Select the product is going to be which is the Universal Life. No, I'm sorry, Index Universal Life right there.
Index.
And you can click available products. It's going to give you a list of all the companies you can run applications with through iPipeline. Look at these.
Mhm.
But look at this right here. This button here is the app. That's why it says iGo eApp. Right here it says quotes. Notice the only one that has a button for quotes is North American.
Mhm.
So the product you're looking for is the Builder Plus IUL 3. That's the product you want. So I'm going to hit select. Let's run these illustrations. All right, so their software, if you learn North American's IUL software, you'll be a beast at every other company's software, because I'm not going to lie to you, I'll be honest with you, North American has the most cumbersome IUL software that I've been able to find. Everybody else is super easy. Theirs is the most trickiest. So let's go through this one, okay? So we've got the kids' age, standard non-tobacco for kids. That's the best they can get, standard non-tobacco, okay?
Mhm.
Now we're picking $100 a month. So let's do this. Let's play with this face amount of insurance. Let's go 250,000. Let's increase the death benefit, as you can see here. But I want that to change at age 70. I could do at year, or I could do at age. I'm picking age 70. This is like doing age 70. That's the first thing I'm gonna do, okay? I want it to retain the current death benefit. That's how I set them up. What does that mean? That means that if the insurance policy is going to increase like this, once it hits age 70 and it levels off, I don't want the death benefit to go back to its original amount. I want it to stay at the current amount that it will be at age 70. That's the first thing. Okay. Now the payments are monthly. Okay. Specified amount. The amount is $100 a month. We're gonna pay until age 65. Now, the first thing that I want to do to see if this is a decent policy is I want to hit this calculate button. $100 a month is $1,200 a year. I need to make sure that this target number is not higher than $1,200, because if it's higher than $1,200 a year, then I'm not funding the policy appropriately. Let me see. It's giving me an error. Issue age, boom, 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 boom. We're good there. We're good there. Come on now. I'm gonna calculate or what? Values based on initial death benefit entered. Where you at? 250,000, that's right. Okay. Waiting on IGO. Just so we did everything right. It's just IGO's taking their sweet time. Come on. Let's do this. Let's up this to 500,000 and see if it picks up. There we go. Okay. So the target right now is 130, but the client's paying $100 a month. So that's too much. The way you can reduce it is by reducing the insurance amount. So let's reduce the insurance to 350,000. Let's recalculate. We want this number to be under $100. There it is. $91.30. That's close. That's close enough for my comfort, right? Now, the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add the rider. The rider will increase the target because there's a cost for that rider. So let's add that rider. Guaranteed insurability rider. The maximum is 25,000. There it is. So now let's go back to the policy. Now that we have that rider attached, go back to the policy right here. Let's recalculate and see how the target changed. It only went up by $1 and some change. So now that I know that I have all the riders and everything there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase this one more time. Let's go to 365. Let's calculate again. I want to get this number as close to 100 as possible. 96. I'm good there. That's a comfortable number. Remember, $100 a month is $1,200 a year. Right now, this is a $96 target. All kid policies, I do them exactly like this every time. Now, here's what I will do. Monthly payments. Remember, premium payments $100 a month. I'm going to hit this changes button. When I hit this changes button, this schedule pops up right here. This is how I change the contribution. So $100 a month until the child turns 18. But then at 19, what I'm going to do is, where's it at? Specific, boom, 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 boom. At 19 right here. See, 19. I'm gonna change the amount to 150. And I want that to end from age 19 to age 25. Let's apply it. What are you going to see now? You're going to see how it changed to 150. So 100 until 18 and then 150, boom, 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 boom for 5 years. Let's go to 26. So I click on 26. Look how 26 pops up right there. Let's take it now to $200. And let's go from 26 until 30. Let's apply the changes. There's the $200 now. Now at 31, I click it. There's 31 now. I'm at 200. Let's up that to 250. And let's go from from 31 to 40. Let's apply it. There's 250 now. Now at 40, let's go to 350. Actually, let's go to 300. And we'll go from 40 to 50. Let's apply it. There's your 300 a month, all the way to age 50. So let's go to 51. And I'm going to increase it for the last time to 350 a month until age 65. That's going to be the very end. Apply it. There's 350 all the way to age 65. And then look, no more payments after 65. So I'm essentially creating the same thing that I just did with NLG. It's just a different illustration software. So now let's look at the illustration. We've got everything in place. Got the monthly payments. We've got the increasing contributions. We've got the riders. We've got everything in place. Let's do right here. You can view agent only illustration. So this is your view. This is not the one you can print and give to the client. But you can view it now and kind of see if it's worth doing it, if it makes sense. And I always like doing that with IULs. I want to see that the back end numbers look strong. Give it a minute. All right. So here is $100 a month until the child turns 18. Then it goes up to what? 150 a month. Boom, 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 until the child turns 25. Then it goes to, oh, there it is, till turns 25. Then it goes to $200 a month until he hits 30. Then $300 a month. Sorry, $250 a month until the child turns 40. Then at 40, it goes up to $300 a month. So I'm just same scenario, right? Go all the way to the very end. At 55, the clients put in a total of $170,400. And what is it worth at that age? It's worth $1.2 million. There you go, my friends. So I'm showing the client, if you can do $100 a month until your child turns 18, and if you can instill good savings habits to your children, so that when they turn 18, they can put more money in from 100 to 150, 150 to 200, 200 to 250. And, you know, every 5 to 10 years, increase your contribution, Mr. Client. You're going to show your child how to put in $170,000, but get back $1.2 million. Oh, and by the way, at 65, the client doesn't have to put any more money in. Yet the policy is still growing. It went from 1.2 million to 1.32 million, which means the client just made $90,000 in interest. I'm sorry, $90,000 in tax-free interest. $90,000 pension, $90,000 pension. Mr. Client, wouldn't you have loved for your parents to have done something like this for you?
May I ask one question real quick?
Yes, sir.
Everything look lovely. And actually I have like 2 questions here. The number one is, keep in mind now the client thinking about when college is due, how much she's gonna be having when time for college. So what are we looking at when this is,
So here's my thing I'm going to tell you right now. And this is a rule of thumb across the board. A kid's IUL will never be a college savings plan for the child.
Okay.
Look, at 18 years into the policy, when the child's 18, it's only going to have $10,000 in there. Why? Because the person's only putting in $100 a month. If you really want to create a savings tool so that the parents can put money away, so that when the kid turns 18, they can tap into it, the client needs to understand it doesn't matter where they put it, it has to be more than $100. You've got to be talking $250 a month type conversations in order for it to really make a dent. Because the reason this policy that I'm showing you is growing astronomically is because there's so much time for the money to compound. But when you're only giving your client, you know, from 5 to 18 is what? 13 years, when you're only giving your client 13 years to grow their money, $100 a month, it doesn't matter where you put it, will not turn into anything substantial. It won't. But if the client can do $250, $300 a month right now, then we can design an IUL on the parent, not on the child, on the parent, where when the child turns 18, the parent can start borrowing out of their own IUL to pay for college tuition. But there's
Now, do we have any product that we can do like a 20 pay or a 15 pay to see what are we looking at is besides IUL?
Yeah, I would look. I mean, if you want to look at a whole life strategy, and well, let me ask you this question. Give me the background of your client. Are they Caribbean?
Yeah, of course they are.
Are they Haitian?
More than likely they are.
Okay. This is why I say this. You got to learn this in the industry. The Haitian community loves whole life policies. They love whole life, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's something I've learned with experience. Now, because they love whole life, you want to make sure you have that as a possible solution to do a 20 pay type option. Yeah. I would call, if I were you, I'd call John Countryman tomorrow at our back office, ask him to run you, a 15 pay or a 20 pay at $100 a month using either Forrester's whole life policy or Mutual Trust whole life policy.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
What is the person's name again? John who?
John Countryman. He's the only male in the office. So if you forget his name, tell the female that answers the office, you want to talk to the man in the office, because there's only one guy that works in there. All right, John.
I think I may have his number. Yeah.
And just so you know, guys, so you can call them. You just go to the Call UMS website. There's the phone number right there. They're open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 4:30 Eastern time. So if you don't have a writing number, or if you're on the road and you can't run an illustration, John is your case design specialist. He'll run the illustrations and send them over your way. I see that Tanisha raised her hand. Tanisha, go ahead and ask your questions.
All right, so two things to clarify. So the IUL, they could take that money out like later in life at 90,000 you were talking about as a policy loan, and that's how it becomes tax-free, right? If they take it out as a policy loan, it's tax-free income for them.
Correct. And here's the piece, because if you notice, I was already going to that page. If they treat it as a retirement vehicle at 65, they don't even need to take out like principal. Look, the money goes from 1.2 million to 1.32. That's $90,000 worth of earnings. No, wait, I'm lying. It's more than 90. That's $1.1 million. I'm sorry, that's $110,000 worth of interest that they can take out without even tapping into their principal. And how they're taking it out, they're taking it out in the form of a loan. Correct. Now,
okay.
You might, now for those of you that are asking, right? Oh my God, the loan. What do you got to do with the loan? Let's say the loan rate is 6%. It's 6% on 110,000. But if you're earning 6% on 1.2 million, aren't you earning more money than you're being charged in interest? You get what I'm saying? So the earnings what you're earning every single year out of the bulk money is more money than the interest that you're being charged on the loan. So you don't have to, when you take out loans on a cash value policy, you don't have to pay back that loan. The insurance company doesn't care whether you pay it back or you don't, because they know they're collateralized. They know when you pass away, they're going to collect their due. They're going to collect the money that they loaned you. That's how it comes out tax-free, because it's loan proceeds. You can't be taxed on loan proceeds. And the insurance company says, well, listen, you can rack up this loan, no problem. When you pass away, we're just going to pay off that loan and give your family whatever is left over. That's how the wealth leverage being able to draw money out tax-free, because of the loan provisions inside of permanent cash value policies. Does that make sense?
Yes. Now, is it the 6%, is that standard, or is that like, how do you know what that percentage is, that one, that the account is earning, and then two, what?
You'd have to call the company. Every company has a fixed interest rate loan. And it's typically somewhere between that 6% bracket, right? For whole life policies, it's like 2%. But for index universal life policies, it's somewhere between 5, 6, 7%. So you can call the company and see what their rate is, right? And that'll give you the clarity on that end. Does that make sense?
Yeah, last question. Why would the whole life policy be potentially appealing to his client over this?
Culturally, in my experience, the Haitian community has been very pro whole life. Culturally, they don't like term life insurance. They love whole life insurance. Whole life is a lot older than index universal life, so they've heard about that more over the last 30, 40 years than IULs. And so if the client feels comfortable doing what their parents did, which is a whole life policy, I'm not going to tell you that whole life is bad. I'm also not going to tell you that IULs are bad. That you can design both of those, good and bad. There's a need for each of them, you know. But if you're explaining an IUL and the client's like, man, I really just feel more comfortable with a whole life policy, and sell them a good whole life policy. The difference between each of them, in my opinion, is whole life is more focused on the security of the insurance, and as a result, the cash accumulation earns about 2.5 to 4% interest, right? Because it's more focused on the insurance side of it. It's designed so that the insurance is there your whole life. That's what it's called, whole life, right? Whereas index universal life, you could design it so that it's more focused on the cash accumulation. And so you could potentially earn more out of your IUL. You could earn 6%, 6.5, 7% out of your IUL, which is something that a whole life policy will 90% of the times never do, because it's more focused on the security and preservation of the insurance. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Also, one thing, Tony, just to let you know, I mean, this one looked very great, but with that being said, I would say someone like me on my early age, I could easily see myself go with something like this, you know, based on what I do for a living. But, somebody who's doing a 9 to 5, low minimum wage, honestly, they're going to be stuck, you know, after they're 18, all of a sudden they have to add more. That's where they're going to be. There's a little bit issue there. Yeah. But
So
like I said,
so here's what you do.
Yeah.
You bring with you that illustration and you tell the client, you don't have to do the increases if you don't want to. If all you wanted to do was $100 a month, that's what you could do. Let me show you what would happen if that's all you did. And so let me show you that. This is the same exact policy, but it stays at $100 a month. It does not change, no increases in contributions. I bring with me both. I want them to see the potential of what it could look like if they put more money in, but I bring with me the other $100 across the board, because I want them to know if the worst thing they do is $100, it's still going to be a good policy. Okay. So this is the same plan, except there's no increases. It stays at $100 a month. Stays at $100, stays at $100. So what happens at 65? Clients put in
72,000.
72,000. That's right. And it's worth 641,000. Still not bad. I mean, you know, Mr. Client, you give me 74,000, I give you 640,000 tax free. It's still not bad. It's not 1.3 million.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That's it. But 1.3 million requires you to put more money in. If all you did was $100, you'd get at least 641,000 based on this illustration. So bring with you both of them so they can see. This is this is the same plan. It's just you put more money in this one versus this one. You have to put more money? No, but you got to at least do $100 a month.
So now how is the cash value work on this one? I mean, the age of 50, how much leverage I have on the cash value, the age of 50 here?
Well, at 50 right here, you have $227,000 of cash value. you would have put in about 50,000 in, 55,000.
All right, good. All right. All right. So in that case, in this cash value, this person can actually borrow some money against that. And they're only gonna be paid the interest, whatever they charge 5% or 6%, then they could forget about the one that they get. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So here's what I want you to do, Mr. Eddie Joseph.
Yes, sir.
Since I'm recording this training, I'm
Yeah,
gonna upload this video into our YouTube channel. I want you to run your own illustrations, and when you've done it, I want you to leverage this video to help train you. When you've done it, I want you to send me the illustrations so I can take a look at it and see, you know, if it's a good plan or not.
That sounds like a plan.
Okay. And just so you guys know, right here, this number right here, this is the target premium. 1157 TP, that's target premium. So $100 a month is $1,200 a year, but you're going to get paid on the 1151, which is your target premium. Okay. Does anybody have any other questions? Good.
Yeah, Tony, on that illustration, what were the other two green sections for?
It's showing you different variables. I'll show you right now. It's showing, where is it? It's showing you different rates of return. So hang on one second. This is based on a 6.24% rate of return, which is what this policy has done over the last 10 to 15 year look back. This is showing you a 3.5% return, and this is showing you a 2% return. Because the IUL is not a fixed guaranteed return of what you're going to make. Remember, there might be some years you make 0%, some years you make 6%, some years you make 8%, some years you make 12%, some years you make 3%. Your average, right, in the last 10 years has been right here, 6.24, but it's not a guaranteed number. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Any further questions? Awesome. Cool. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys hopping on with me so late into the evening.
Thank you.
Hopefully this was beneficial to you. And I'll see you guys in the flip, and you know, let's go help as many families as we possibly can.